Huh?
Be on the lookout for some familiar faces as the Metro K line is currently wrapped in
Yes.
KBLA Talk 1580. Make sure you visit the
Do
KBLA
this.
Talk 1580 online store now open for business with all kinds of fresh merch. Don't miss a single episode
Okay, let me
of
ask
The
you this.
Motivator, Les Brown's month-long radio residency. You've got to be hungry. Weekdays at 11 a.m. and 4 p.m.
No.
exclusively on KBLA Talk
Ah!
1580. And afternoons just got real. Real people, real talk, real issues, real solutions. Be sure to check out
Nah,
Aretha
fam.
Martin in real time on
I
your
love
way
you,
home.
dog.
Weekday afternoons from 4 to 6.
Nah.
Turning up the frequency all Black History Month long. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. And we don't black down.
Oh shit. Well, we live.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane. That stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, and I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
All right, today I'd like to talk a little bit about what love has to do with low entropy, or why is being a low entropy consciousness has to do with becoming love. How is it that entropy and love get connected somehow? Okay, well, you know that in this virtual reality paradigm that I talk about, the larger consciousness system is the fundamental system. And we are avatars. We are played by a player that is a consciousness. I call that a individuated unit of consciousness. And that our virtual reality is here as a learning lab. You know about that, and that it's computed by a computer that's also part of the larger consciousness system. That the larger consciousness system is a information system, okay? Even a digital information system. Now, digital information systems want or need or exist because they have information. And when an information system evolves, it means evolving toward more, better, more useful information. It's the increase in information is how an information system evolves. If it loses information, a decrease in information, then it is de-evolving. Okay, now let's talk about entropy for a moment. Entropy is a measure of disorder. So think of an information system and how that applies to disorder. Well, information is order. If you have bits and the bits are all random, then there is no information. There's no information in randomness. That's almost the basic definition of randomness. No information in randomness. So if all the bits are random, you really don't have an information system. You maybe have a potential for an information system, but there's no information there. Okay, now, as those bits become ordered, and that order has meaning, that order can be symbolic, that order could be just patterns. Any order contains information. For example, here's a very simple order. Up, down, up, down, up. What's next? Well, down would be next. Why? Because there's a pattern. We could predict what would happen next based on the pattern. That's information. There's information contained in the pattern. Okay, the pattern is lower entropy than if all those bits in the pattern were random. So you see, as bits are ordered, we create information, and those ordered bits can become symbols, like a 0 and a 1, you see, which could then produce lots of zeros and ones, which then can do everything a computer can do, just from those kinds of binary bits. So this is the nature of an information system, that it evolves to lower entropy, more order. It de-evolves to higher entropy. So an information system that is conscious, such as the larger consciousness system, then has two choices. It can evolve and grow and become more, creating more information, or it can de-evolve, have less information, less significance, and eventually, if that continues, die, end up with no information at all. So if you were a conscious, aware information system, what would you be doing? You would be trying to lower your entropy. Now, one of the things that consciousness was able to do to create more opportunities to lower entropy was that it broke itself into pieces so that it could interact with free will with those pieces.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know Thomas Campbell, who is a former theoretical physicist, can be a little heady. I know. But I had to, because I'm going to bring him back after I come forward, because I want you to hear another piece of what he's saying. Entropy is chaos. Entropy is the second law of thermodynamics. The longer thermodynamic systems go on, the more they begin to break down into chaos. But now he's talking about consciousness, right? And he's saying, in your life, what is the producer of spiritual entropy, of relational entropy? See, because I'm getting sick and tired of hearing people front behind some words. I'm going to tell you right now, the word love is one of the most bastardized terms in all of relationships. Is love, tonight's topic, a figment of our imagination? How real or rare is true love? And what I'm positing tonight is that many of us have a lot of entropy, i.e. trauma. I believe unresolved trauma is an information system and patterns, as he was explaining, that cause us to relive this, what I would say, this degenerative state in relationships. In my Shrouded Lighthouse book, I call it spiritual entropy, right? You've inherited generational tasks. You don't like the word task, or if you've never used the word task or curriculum, you say it's a generational curse. And you've been running from the curse as opposed to decoding the curse. And this is why many of our relationships wind up frustrating and disappointing. Is true love more about how you feel or what you think and the decisions you make? Thomas Campbell was the voice you heard at the beginning of the show. He wrote a powerful book that I should suggest everybody go read. It's actually in 3 separate parts. The book is called My Big Toe. Now, TOE is an acronym for theory of everything. My Big Theory of Everything, My Big Toe. A trilogy unifying philosophy, physics, and metaphysics, awakening, discovery, and inner workings. Thomas Campbell. Now, I know we're starting off a little deep tonight, but this is why I want y'all to understand. Love ain't no damn verb. And love is not about tomorrow and what you do or don't do tomorrow. See, a lot of relationships are hinging on what pops off tomorrow or what does not pop off tomorrow. Do you understand? So I'm trying to do this show, right? To get you in the mind, how real or rare is true love? And just because somebody buy you some red roses and some chocolates, does that mean they love you? Huh? 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, I want to talk to everybody. I want to get everybody involved. This is an open conversation. I want y'all to chime in. We're going to be on fire tonight.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings will disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Life is uncertain. It's okay.
Yeah.
Stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. It's normal.
What up, everybody? Let's get those likes up.
It's easy.
Not just 43 likes. Let's hit that super chat. Everybody show your love, show your appreciation for today's show. Like I said, 66 people. If 66 people drop $5, changes the game. We're in a different space. We're 14 minutes into the show. As enthusiastic as I am about being here, can y'all show me your love by doing the same? Hit the super chat. Let's talk tonight. And call in, please.
Absolutely, Dr. King. Good Lord, do I have some questions for you, sir. Hi, it's Tavis.
Assalamu alaikum, my brother. This is Minister Malcolm. Now, I heard that you and Martin are getting together for a public dialogue on February 28th. See now.
Get to your phone lines. I need to hear from y'all, my peoples. Tiffany, get in here.
No, sir. No, sir.
Braid the... I can't braid it. I can't do that. I specifically want to hear from Tiffany. Ladies, call in. Yup. Specifically, I want to talk to your ass. You. Desiree, you.
Don't miss this compelling historic radio event, The Return.
Don't play.
Tavis Smiley converses with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. Tuesday, February 28th, 9 a.m.
She
Pacific
said,
time,
damn it.
exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Let's get those likes up, y'all. Come on.
1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family was founded to help address domestic violence and sexual assault.
Do y'all know I got a full page ad for the Voice of Reason in all of the black newspapers in LA? KBLA put a full page ad in all
They are committed to meeting the specific cultural and
of the
language needs of the Asian
black
and
newspapers
Pacific
in Los
Islander women
Angeles.
and their families.
Somebody came into the cigar lounge today and said, yo, you in the paper.
Islander community that embraces healthy relationships and works
So,
in partnership
Voice of
with
Reason
other
over here doing something
communities
different.
to eradicate all forms of violence, to access services.
Yeah, thank you, Desiree. We appreciate it. We're at 10:55. Can everybody follow Desiree's lead? Come on, y'all. Everybody, let's support big time.
This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Here we go.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's a 360 turn, it's in where we begin. like kids again, like kissing and missing half. What's different than just a man? Just the big picture we missed it. The big it just didn't matter. Now we on bad times, in between the bad words. You know they love right, but how we gon' live when it's this good? It's damn it, just good. Seems this loving's all for nothing, baby. You know how to explain, but I think I still love you. Still love you. A happy makes me cry, 'cause it gives me you don't want to. And it makes perfect sense to think it like a star. How do I explain? Nothing's going hard. Hard and free, but I'm thinking that I still love you. Still love you. If I tried to exist when you said I got this, right when the fight is stopped, it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason. I'm going to dedicate this record to my daughter. She's the one who told me to play it. She was like, "You doing that topic tonight? Play this record." Wow. Is love a figment of our imagination? How real or rare is true love? That's tonight's topic. 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines right now. Is true love more about how you feel or what you think and the decisions you make? Could love be classified as a mental illness? Wow. Some people really believe that. There's a book called Love Sick, Love as a Mental Illness by Frank Tallis. And he writes that if we take the symptoms of falling in love and check them against accepted diagnostic criteria for mental illness, we find that most lovers qualify for diagnosis of obsessional illness, depression, or manic depression. Other symptoms include insomnia, hyperactivity, and loss of appetite. Ain't love grand? Northwestern University psychologist Li Finkel describes how falling in love can make otherwise normal people do very wild things. They'll stalk, hack into your email, eavesdrop, and do other things they'd never do in a rational frame of mind. Helen Fisher, an evolutionary anthropologist, explains that the elevated dopamine levels experienced during the rush of falling in love can drive us to take risks that may otherwise seem unthinkable. So love really does conquer all, and not always in a good way. So let me just say, you got the psychologist on one side that says, hey, love is a brain chemical reaction. Hormones, dopamine, oxytocin, all types of things are happening. So I have to ask these kinds of questions. Is the brain the Frank Lucas of love? The Nicky Barnes of love? Is the brain pimping our relationships with euphoria, creating and addicting hormones? Does the brain do this? Apparently so. Is our brain love's temporary hormone pusher? Agree or disagree? Does unresolved trauma lead to spiritual and relational entropy? The longer a thermodynamic system moves on, the more it begins to break down into chaos. And the reason why this makes sense to me, because at the highest level of love, which is pure consciousness, there's freedom. But you can't really love if you're not free from the hold of generational curses or wounds that have yet to be reconciled. If you haven't done any personal internal work to reconcile the wounds or your experiences, whatever you've been through, then you're not free. And if you're not free, you can't truly experience unconditional love. Could this be the reason for why unconditional love is so elusive for so many? Is this why love can get old? Boy, love is like a 90-year-old man's erection. How long you think he gonna... You got 50. How old am I? You got a good 35 seconds, and then we're 7 minutes, right? Can you be in a happy, healthy relationship without love? I believe many people are living in that space because I believe love is rarefied air. I don't think every marriage, every relationship encounters it. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. I want to talk to folk. Jeez. Is authentic love more about what you do than what you say? See, because love is like meditating. Some people who meditate can transcend their body and fly to another galaxy. Most people won't do that. Do you understand? Love is like that, right? Some people who meditate can levitate. Most people won't do that. Right? What are you talking about, Zoe? Some people who meditate, I want you guys to look up something called the rainbow death. Rainbow death. Certain Tibetan monks are believed to be able to enter into a meditative state to where their entire body disintegrates into a flash of light. They got some videos on this. This is crazy, right? But most people ain't gonna meditate at that level. And I believe most people won't reach the highest level of consciousness, which is love, which is one with God. I just don't believe most people can get there. So I believe most relationships are existing in a space where we're good so long as we do what we say we're going to do by each other, and we're just going to cope with each other. We're just going to deal with each other. I want to know, true or false? You must be free from your internal work / shadow, trauma, spiritual entropy, fear, and ego in order to love freely. If you're not free from any of that, you're not going to be free in the relationship. You're not going to be free to experience that which is unconditional, that which is supernatural. We got callers on the line. And I really want to talk to folks about that. What is your definition of love? Is it real? Is it attainable? And more importantly, is it sustainable? 1-800-920-1580. Tiffany, Atlanta, get in here.
Oh my God, since you just insisted. Hello, so.
I'm sorry, but I need somebody to talk about this.
Absolutely. Let's talk about it. Now, one of the things that you mentioned is the science behind how people who say they're in love mimic things that are more so like along the lines of, like, not insanity, but
No, they're saying this is what happens, hyperactivity, insomnia, depression, manic depression. Like, this is what's happening in your brain.
But could we really call that love? Like, yeah, somebody could actually say, like, yeah, I'm in love. He makes me feel this way, girl. I can't eat, I can't sleep. Like, baby girl, that might not be love. You might want to get some help. Now, we have to also remember that the brain also sends signals through the body. We also know what they're like, our intuition. It sends these signals to the body, but, like, you get nervous. Say, for instance, like you got stage fright or something like that, and it's just like you get that butterfly feeling in the pit of your stomach, and you just like, whoo. And then as you're talking through it and stuff like that, like it kind of sorts itself out. It does the exact same thing when you see somebody that you are absolutely infatuated with, that you're in love with, and you get that butterfly feeling. Now, a lot of people also go to the thing of saying, like, oh, well, your intuition give you that butterfly feeling, and you know what that means, like, that person might not be good for you, or your brain is just doing its brainly function. And I really don't feel like it's a situation where love can even be remotely considered to anything that's mental. Like, on the mental spectrum of, like, depression and insomnia and all that stuff like that. No, that's not love.
But what I'm saying, all of this is documented, empirically researched stuff that's saying when a person is in love, this is what has been observed by psychologists, by anthropologists. There's certain areas in your brain that light up when you're in love that show these types of responses because of the hormone cocktail you get from attraction, attachment, right?
Right.
So this is what the psychologists are saying. And you saying
Right.
that's a lie. That ain't love.
No, I'm not saying it's a lie. And I did say that. I respect science. But come on, the brain is its own brain. Like, let's think about how the brain operates. The brain will kill you before it allows itself to die. It will have you in straight up pain just to save itself. So to that extent, it's just like, yeah, I get it. I get what they're saying, but I can't really I ain't jacking it. Like, I can't really just say, because what if that person, like, what if they do like a study where it's like a placebo situation where there's a certain group that will say they're in love and then mimic the same symptoms? So it's like,
wait,
do you, like, the reason why
mimic the same symptoms?
Yeah, like, you know that you can force your body to mimic symptoms. Like, your brain is just that powerful. Like, I'm pretty sure people know this, that your brain will conjure. Let's think about, like, the people who have ideations or fandom, like, or what they call fanatics.
Mm-hmm.
Where, you remember all that stuff that Chris Brown was going through where that girl just kept breaking into his house?
Oh, yeah.
Because she just knew they were going to be together. Like, she just knew that they were a thing.
That's love. That's love, though.
Oh, see what I'm saying?
The girl was in love.
Oh, that's love.
Listen, it might.
Okay.
Listen, my daughter is in love with Chris Brown. Now, as my daughter was growing up, I'm finna put her out here. The child would have a birthday party for Chris Brown at the crib by herself.
Oh, no.
And she would decorate the crib. Balloons, cake, happy birthday banners. When we come forward, I'm going to be talking to Tiffany some more. Lord have mercy, we on fire tonight. Now why am I? That's when he was a little kid.
He's on fire tonight. The voice of reason with Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Police are responding to an active shooter situation at Michigan State University. Campus authorities say shots were fired on or near the East Lansing campus. Students are being told to secure in place and run, hide, or fight if necessary. Storm systems could cause problems for regions across the country this week. States including Arizona and Colorado are already dealing with various types of precipitation, while southern states could be in for some severe weather. This year's Super Bowl ratings are through the roof. Fox Sports says 113 million people watched the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Philadelphia Eagles in Arizona on Sunday, making it the most watched Super Bowl in 6 years. The network that aired the big game also noted that Super Bowl 57 ranks as the third most watched TV show ever. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Island from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Need an accident attorney by your side.
All you got to do
is call the accident guys.
Injured in a car accident or at work? Call the accident guys. Because unlike other firms, an attorney will negotiate your case, not a paralegal.
This is a rather bold pronouncement, but we think we can back it up. If you come across a radio frequency,
Tiffany killing as usual.
and more diversity on the air than KBLA Talk 1580, we sure would like to hear about your discovery.
Oh Lord, don't get off topic, Mimi.
Confident that you will find more shows covering more topics, hosted by a more diverse and inclusive lineup of talkers than the squad we have assembled here at KBLA Talk 1580.
Can men? I don't think the men.
We've got something for everybody.
I don't even think y'all fuck with love.
History and humor, issues and events, empowerment and entertainment, all in one station. What's really going on?
Is love too soft for the men?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We got a lot to talk about.
What up, what up, what up?
Thanks to our new sponsor, Lendistry. Lendistry is a national black-led small business lender that is headquartered in Los
Hey,
Angeles. Lendistry helps small
Nazarene.
business owners access the affordable capital needed
No,
to visit Lendistry, Lendistry.
Do men think love is soft?
KBLA. Here at McKay's Family Mortuary, we offer a full line of services with
Do men think
inspection,
love is just some shit that's exclusive to women?
assistance with cemeteries, along with luxury limousine and funeral coaches, and other needs pertaining to your family's wishes for your loved one. We accept Veterans Victim Witness Program for mortuary services only at zero cost to you. Cemetery selection does not apply. All insurances are accepted. McKay's Funeral Home understands that saying goodbye.
I need y'all to get on the phone.
That's why we've been providing.
We got 2 callers on. I need 2 more callers. Can I get it right now?
For over a decade. Please contact
He
McKay's
who
Family
thinks.
Mortuary,
Let's hear that.
serving Los Angeles, San
Can you
Bernardino,
call
and
in?
Riverside counties
He
and
who
the
thinks. We got
Highlands.
lines. I need you to call in and speak to that.
310-978-8877. That's 310-978-8877. By appointment only or log on to McKaysMortuaries.com.
No, being a tender dick.
California is a great place to live and work.
Yellow
Those aren't
Beezy.
easy things to do for students.
What in
also
the
going to
entire
college.
fuck
That's why
is
the
a
state
tender
created
dick?
The Californians for All College Core, a way for students to build skills and help others while earning
That's
up
funny.
to $10,000 for school. Commit to serve your community and we'll help you pay for college. Spots will fill up fast, so learn more and apply today at www.cacollegecorps.com. That's www.cacollegecorps.com. California is a great place to live and work, but those aren't easy things to do for students also going to college. That's why the state created the Californians for All College Core, a way for students to build skills and help others while earning up to $10,000 for school.
we have
Commit to
comments?
serve your community and we'll help you pay for
Video.
college. Spots will fill up fast, so learn more and apply today at www.cacollegecorps.com.
Right-
That's
right where we left off? Damn it.
www.cacollegecorps.com. Thanks to our new sponsor, Lendistry. Lendistry is a national black-led small business lender that is headquartered in Los Angeles. Lendistry helps small business owners access the affordable capital needed to grow. Visit Lendistry, LENDISTRY.com/KBLA
Some
today.
people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed
See a
with illicit
doctor.
drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams,
Damn.
about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially
We
be
flying through
This
this.
isn't an ad to scare
I'm
you,
finna learn
but
so
it is
much.
an ad to give
I'm
you
really
choice.
on one right
Get
now.
the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This
And you
message
need to
is brought
call
you by
in,
the Ad Council.
Nazarene, anyway. From the wetlands of Fallopia.
We're seeking smart, creative solution providers to join the KBLA
Okay.
delegation and go higher with us. If you or someone you know is interested
Huh?
in joining our team as a brand manager, go to our website at kbla1580.com.
Yeah.
Tap on
Yeah.
employment opportunities and let us hear from you.
Absolutely.
We're not looking for everybody or just anybody, but you could be that special somebody. Come grow with us. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Live in 30.
This is GBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music.
Yeah.
KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Phil Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
A as we stare, we both seek and hope to find real love, purified. Use your heart and not your eyes. Baby, just relax and ride. You got time to knock us out.
Turn it off. This is all a trick of the brain. Now, what I want y'all to do is listen. See, you feel all good. You done got emotional, endorphins, and all types of oxytocin. You say, where my girl at? Lord have mercy, that record is beautiful. Use your heart and not your mind. Get out your head. This is what my woman tells me. Get out your head so much. You always in your head. It's like the attic of your spirit. Come down into your heart, boy, so you can really connect. I'm telling you, it's a struggle for men, I guess, to really, really love. I need Thomas Campbell to give me a little bit more, and then I'm going to go back to Tiffany.
Bits. So this is the nature of an information system, that it evolves to lower entropy, more order. It de-evolves to higher entropy. So an information system that is conscious, such as the larger consciousness system, then has two choices. It can evolve and grow and become more, creating more information, or it can de-evolve, have less information, less significance, and eventually, if that continues, die, end up with no information at all. So if you were a conscious, aware information system, what would you be doing? You would be trying to lower your entropy. Now, one of the things that consciousness was able to do to create more opportunities to lower entropy was that it broke itself into pieces so that it could interact with free will.
So wait, hold on. So he deep, but he's a physicist. So he says consciousness broke itself into pieces. What he's saying is we all have a piece of that consciousness in us, which he made reference to earlier in the video when he called us individuated units of consciousness. So what he's saying is consciousness, i.e. God, because you know physicists don't like to say God just outright. They just not going to outright say God, even though the universe is showing them, consciousness is showing them, hey, this is way bigger than your little puny monkey-related mind can even fathom, so they know it's God, but they don't say that. Individuated units of consciousness broke itself into pieces so it could interact with itself. Continue the video, please.
Some could interact as well with all the pieces. Now, this created a lot of new possibilities. Possibilities of interaction with other free will units. Who knows what they're going to do, right? They have free will. How they might interact, how they might connect with each other, what they might do is unknown. That creates a lot more potential for growth, a bigger potential for order, you see? So this is a strategy to help the system evolve by lowering its entropy, give it more opportunity, more places that it can organize, more degrees of freedom with which it can organize. Okay. Now, of course, in biology, we did the same thing. You see, things become more survivable as they become more flexible, and they become more flexible as they become more complex.
Okay, so stop. So I see what he's saying here, but to apply it to relationships, because that's really what he's applying it to, he's just hella lofty in the way he's framing it. So let me bring it down a taste. What he's basically saying is God, consciousness, broke itself into small pieces so it could interact with itself. But in order to grow and evolve, which also presents a problem because God is infinite, how could it evolve? Do you see what I'm saying? Or I wouldn't use evolve. That's the scientist's word. So it could evolve, and I would use expand into areas of itself that as an individuated unit of consciousness, it had not remembered. So you don't know that that's you, and then you begin to expand spiritually, and then you start to see you can't recognize something you're not. Then you start to recognize areas of your being that you had forgotten. Remember, they said, now, so many metaphysicians say this. You chose your people, you chose your parents, you chose your experiences, you chose all of that stuff before you got here. So when he's saying, so it can evolve, I think what he's trying to say, so that it can remember. Listen, not God remember, but you remember what you were before you became this identity. Okay, put it back on, and then I'm gonna go back to Tiffany, because this is cooking right now.
So when those single-celled critters became multi-celled critters, they lowered their entropy. They were now more complex as multi-celled things, more order, more structure, you see? So actually, evolution in biology is also based on entropy. The lower the entropy, and entropy, of course, is defined within a system. The lower the entropy, the more you evolve. The more complexity you have, the more capability you have, the more flexibility you have, the more you can do, the more you can understand, the more choices, the more degrees of freedom you have.
So stop.
So
degrees of freedom in physics, especially when you're dealing with string theory. Degrees of freedom is in reference to these fundamental strings at the fundamental level of reality. They call them strings. They're not technically strings, but they call them strings, string theory, and they've been working on string theory for over 30 years, and nothing has really come out of it. But in string theory, when they say imagine them as rubber bands kind of folding on to each other, each fold of the rubber band of these fundamental particles, they call a degree of freedom. So you've heard certain people say, hey, hold on, there's 12, 13, 25 different dimensions. Well, that's based on the degree of freedom that they have discovered from string theory. They're saying string theory is suggesting that there are currently 22 different dimensions. Okay, I'm sorry. Because he gets all weird, and I want to break down. Little rubber bands folded onto each other is a degree of freedom. Each fold is a degree. I'm sorry, go ahead.
The consciousness system did this, and it created all of these individuated units of consciousness, all with free will, that interacted with each other. What they created was a social system. A social system is a bunch of free-willed units of consciousness that interact with each other. Now, in this interaction, there were ways that this interaction could take place that lowered entropy, and ways that could take place to raise entropy. There were two different paths here that you could go on. As it turns out, the path that lowers entropy is a path where these entities cooperate, care about each other, and focus on how they can be of service rather than what can they get.
Okay, stop. Because right now, he's about to finally get to some regular English. See, this is why we had to roll with him, and I had to translate. I had to be the King James for all the degrees of entropy. But what's cold right here now, he's about to slip into regular talk, you see. And this is important that we get this, because what I'm trying to explain to people about relationship entropy. Relationship entropy is the same as unhealed trauma. If it's not dealt with, the relationship devolves into chaos. That's what he's talking about. So he's saying in order to love, there must be freedom. But you got to be free from that. If you can't be free from that, all you can do is imagine what you think love is. And then love becomes this cocktail of feelings based on attraction. And it's hard to maintain that erection because that get old after a while. Woo, Lord have mercy. When we come forward, I'm going back to the phone lines, and Thomas Campbell, he's in here cooking tonight. Trauma leads to entropy.
Will Smith and Martin Lawrence confirm.
Hell yeah. And I'm going to Tiffany. Because I want to see what Tiffany got to say after all this.
Bad Boys 4.
Tiffany gonna be like, that's some bullshit.
Take a listen to the viral announcement.
Don't cuss, Tiffany. Tiffany gonna be like, I don't believe none of that shit. Don't cuss, but I get you back on.
It's official. Bad boys.
Heru, does this make sense?
And that's your K-Black.
Trauma
Thanks to our new sponsor, Industry.
plants unresolved trauma plants the seeds of relationship entropy.
Business owners access the affordable capital needed to grow. Visit Lendistry, LENDISTRY.com/.
She said, oh, we finna spar. That's why I got your crazy ass on here. No, quiet as kept. Tiffany's smart than a motherfucker, boy. That's why I love her calls. Mimi!
Dondo Beach Performing Arts Center. For tickets, call 800-595-4849. For more info, call 323-849-9570.
I don't know what to do with Mimi, though.
Visit JimsBenefitConcert.org. The Millionaires Roundtable with Lynn Richardson is creating millionaires, one family, one day, $1.
I don't know what to do. Hey, we at 3554. Are we going to show up today in a big way? It's 81 people in here. If everybody could drop a 5 spot, just 5. We don't have to do no big numbers, just $5. Can everybody do it? Ooh, respect is an reflex of memory. Zoe Williams, have you forgot who I am? No, sir.
1580 mobile app today and register. See you there. Are you a business owner, freelancer, or
listen,
taxes for the first time?
Talent is like an erection.
Stop what you're doing now.
How long do you think you can keep that erection of talent? Michael and Prince, they did it a long time. Then, oh shit, so.
Solutions guarantees 100% maximum refund and free consultation. Call now, 562-715-9945. That's
Did I get his ass?
715-9945.
No.
Or visit Mac.
I'm trying to teach tonight. I'm trying to get y'all in here so we can interact. New ideas, new concepts. People don't understand it.
A $40 gift card will be included when you file. Call now, 562-715-9945. 562-715.
Because people don't understand why they don't experience love. It requires a higher level of consciousness.
Paycheck garnishments. Live and Tax Solutions will even provide all tax programs that your business could be eligible for. Now is the time to make your business work for you. Call now, 562-715-9945. Be sure to download the KBLA.
Exactly. That's the Shrouded Lighthouse. I got a house full of those books.
562-715-9945 or visit the website.
The Shrouded Lighthouse talks all about this.
Call now, 562-715-9945.
Hey, what's going on? This is Shane, and you're listening to Unapologetically Progressive, KBLA Talk 1580.
Shane was just on my show today.
It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
There's a special kind of person. Sometimes she's not all she seems. You only see what she wants you to see. And before you really know, it always seems to come.
Yeah. Das Let's Kill. Yo! The voice of reason. Yeah. Hey, I know this is not the orthodox kind of relationship lesson you've been given. But I'm here to tell you, man, love is a higher level of consciousness. It's not a system of actions. Do you know I can act right and still be wrong internally? Love is not a verb. There is a consciousness level, and you need it in both people, and both people must recognize it. It's difficult for people to do that when they're looking through the filter of unresolved issues. 1-800-920-1580. Tiffany from Atlanta, get in here, wrap it up. Wrap your thought around it.
Listen. All right, so what is the clip that you've been playing? What's the guy's name?
His name is Thomas Campbell. He is a theoretical physicist who turned into a metaphysicist. He's a spiritualist now. He wrote the book, My Big Toe, a trilogy unifying philosophy, physics, and metaphysics, awakening, discovery, inner workings. My Big Toe by Thomas Campbell.
Okay, I wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way because you're right, he cooking, right?
Yeah, he cooking now. He really cooking.
Yeah, however, we all know that centered around love and its purity is of God, hands down. But somewhere along the line, something went terribly wrong, and humans just started to really, I don't know if it was purposely done or what, I don't know if it was because the masses were led astray, but away from the consciousness, there became this ordeal where people believe that another being is their possession. And so when people love, they have this attachment, and this is some banal. They have this attachment where they feel like this person is obligated to them. And I use that word more so freely, but I don't look at that as love. I look at that as some other form of infatuation, but to go and say that it's love, like, I don't know. And
Well, you're cooking right now, and you're on the precipice of something. But listen, I have to stop you just for 1 second because you're right there onto something. You're right. That is not love. Only envy wants. Right? Not envy, excuse me. I meant to say emptiness. Only emptiness wants to possess. Where there is wholeness and fullness, there is no desire to acquire. Do you see?
Don DeMarco, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Where there is fullness, there is no desire to acquire. Where there is emptiness, you belong to me. You're mine. Get over here. Does that make sense?
Now, oh yeah, it makes sense though. But real quick, I'm gonna wrap up my call because we got other people that we can talk to. But real quick, and I also want to say, as far as unconditional love, I even believe that somewhere out there are even parents who do not experience unconditional love, even for their children.
Absolutely.
And I was struggling with that because I was like, you know what? A parent's love is a love unknown. And I'm not a parent, and I can't express birthing another human being or whatever, and then having to bond with it and stuff. But I do feel like just from what I've gone through and some things that my mom has shared with me, that there are conditions to love, because a lot of us in our human form are just that. We haven't risen to our just straight up consciousness, like how you were speaking earlier about the monks and stuff.
So again, you're saying it again. You're there at the precipice. Can I help you? What you're saying is most people have conditional, impersonal love. It's about me. It's about what I want, even if it's my kids, even if it's my husband, my significant other, my wife. It's impersonal and it's about me. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Girl,
I gotta get up out of here, though.
we love you for calling in. Thank you, man. Atlanta, Georgia is in the building because of you. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580. Listen, are we taking a break or do I keep going? Oh, good. I can keep going. Let's get Sean in here. Sean from Oakland, California. Get in here. Speak on it.
Hey, brother. So the word love. So now I'm just going to go straight to the cut to the chase. You know, that when you're talking about young people, right? You cannot and don't discount the way they feel. And I'm not saying you do or anyone else. Don't discount the way a young person feels, you know, towards someone else, because, you know, that word is the benchmark for what we call, you know, being really, you know, liking someone a lot. We really like that person. So remember, though, you know, when we're talking about higher consciousness, just so you know, young people, you know, I get you, because I've been there, is that, you know, the higher consciousness, in my opinion, is, you know, it's a process. So remember that, right? You guys might have this short-term 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. That's just a blip on the screen. You have to develop that love. That's what really will you define that word love. Don't think about anybody else's definition of that word. You define that love, and you take it to its highest power.
Sean, thank you, brother. You said love is develop it. You got to develop it like you're churning butter. Thank you, Sean. Oakland, California is in the building because of you. Listen, get to your phone lines if you want to join this most powerful discussion. I've still got a lot to talk about. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. Good job, Tiffany. Good job, Tiffany. Tiffany. Y'all give Tiffany a round of applause. She talks so much shit, don't you agree? You're welcome. Now, y'all know I couldn't have did that whole first hour with Tiffany and Thomas Campbell.
1580 Santa Monica.
If I could have did it with Thomas Campbell, but Tiffany calling in enriched the conversation. Hell yeah. You still got that same little piece? Yeah. As a matter of fact, don't play the other piece. No. And don't play the Thomas Campbell, because I want to integrate him into the discussion. So just come back with the music.
Various types of precipitation, while southern states could be in for some severe weather. This year's Super Bowl ratings are through the roof. Fox Sports says 113 million people watched the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Philadelphia Eagles in Arizona on Sunday.
No, she brought fire.
Super Bowl in 6 years. The network that
She brought fire.
game also noted that Super Bowl 57 ranks as the third most watched TV show ever. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Island from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network.
Hey, you know who called me and hung up yesterday?
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blind
Arabia. She was excited that the motherfucker, the Chiefs won. She called and hung up. I was saying to myself, girl, I would have picked up.
What we're gonna do right here is go back to back.
Right.
Turning up the frequency of Black History Month.
Arabia.
Familiar faces as the Metro K line is currently
Yes, Tiffany, thank you for the super chat. We're at $40. I really believe that this show is worth more than $40. I really do. I believe that this show is worth way more than $40. And fucking YouTube is gonna take 30% of it. It blossoms when we all work together. Now, It is what it is. It's 86 of y'all in here, like I said.
I'm so Williams.
Everybody dropped $3. We killing.
Has your soulmate become yourself?
Heru, I believe in you, Heru. I believe in collapsing the wave function. But do our people believe as you do? As you do. That's Star Wars. I do not believe as you do.
Was a very heated topic. Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
Betrayal has been committed. I get you in the bed.
Is being human a verb?
Why can't you open up, brother?
That was good. Is being human a verb? I like that, JG. You should call in.
The voice of reason.
This is the type of music you sit on your couch in your boxers and you pull out your little wave brush and brush your beard after the morning after, honey. The Voice of Reason is live on KBLA Talk 1580. And of course, my playlist is my co-host. This is The Morning After, Maze, and Frankie Beverly. Listen, relationships bring a lot of consternation into our lives, a lot of difficulty, a lot of frustration. And most of that frustration and difficulty that relationship mirrors to us is stuff we haven't dealt with. And I wanted to introduce you guys to Thomas Campbell and his work. Thomas Campbell, My Big Toe is the book that he wrote. TOE is an acronym for Theory of Everything. It used to be called GUT, right? And now it has evolved from GUT into TOE. GUT was Grand Unified Theory, right? But now it's called Theory of Everything, TOE. So he wrote a book called My Big Toe, a trilogy unifying philosophy, physics, and metaphysics, awakening, discovery, inner workings. They're three separate, ginormous books. This is a former physicist who turned metaphysicist, spiritualist. And he did something that I thought was quite unique. He was talking about how difficulty in our lives and our relationships is a type of entropy, which is the second law of thermodynamics. The second law of thermodynamics states that any thermodynamic system that continues to go on will break down into entropy. Now, the state of entropy, for lack of a better word, is a state of chaos, right? This is where you can no longer access energy that was there, just like in relationships. How come you don't do what you used to do? And even when you do what you used to do, it doesn't feel the same as when you used to do it. The energy is still there. You just have lost access to it. That's what relational entropy is. We've been talking about rekindling the spark for many, many years, but the spark, the energy of the spark is not gone. You've just lost access to it. Let's get to it. Reggie, Austin, Texas, get in here and let's talk.
Man, I haven't heard of Thomas Campbell before tonight, but there was a part of his theory that really made sense to me. He said that as the particles became more flexible, they became more pliable. And that makes sense as far as love is concerned to me. Because if you try to control love and become real constricted with it, you'll never be able to become pliable. And pliable is like you never be able to become positioned the way you want to be.
Right.
And so that part of it is it just made a whole lot of sense to me. And then you talk about the second law, where everything goes toward entropy, toward chaos. Man, we can't control anything. Well, we can't control the entire element of love. We can control certain parts to it.
But
if you try to get if you try to get a bunch of control in it, then you just gonna have you might as well just bang your head against the wall, because it's never ever gonna work.
Well, let's play a little tennis here. Let's play a little tennis here.
Yeah.
So for many people, love is about doing. Right? This is why they say love is a verb. And this is why I'm telling you right now, we live in such an insane society that now we're producing statements and we don't realize that our words are spells and creates realities for us. We are now saying love isn't enough. That's because it is difficult to reach the Mount Pinatubo of your personal mountain. The spiritual Mount Pinatubo inside of you is so difficult to reach that Everest, right? So you just say, all right, never mind. I won't go inside. I won't do the work. I'll just create these inflexible expectations for you to do what I think will make me happy. And then you get it for a little while, because that's how the universe works. And after you've gotten it for a little while, then what happens? Right? Monotony sets in. You know,
Absolutely.
you get used to it, and now it's not special anymore. And now it doesn't feel like it used to feel. And now you're looking for some other stimulus, some other bump. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. But if we play tennis here, let me volley back.
Yes.
Because if love is about the action, if love is about the words and the actions, there are a lot of actions that I've seen, and a lot of words that I've heard by people that weren't love. So love isn't the action. Love is the essence.
Come on.
It's the essence
Yes.
from which everything comes.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so if you yield toward the action, you get fooled every time. Because you're looking at it through your feelings. Love is past your feelings. Love goes into the fact. It goes into the essence. What's the motive behind what you're doing? And if you've never experienced true love, I doubt that you've ever experienced someone doing something for you just out of the kindness of their heart, don't want anything from you, just saw that you needed something, they had it, and they gave it to you.
Wow.
That starts something in you. And if we're going back to thermodynamics, okay, for every action, there's an opposite reaction. So if somebody gave something to you out of the kindness of their heart, they didn't ask anything from you, then what are you going to do with it? That softens your heart, and that allows you to be fully human, because you're showing empathy to everyone else, or at least to someone else, because somebody showed it to you.
That's heavy.
That's part of the thing. You see what I'm saying? And I don't have all the answers, man, but I know what I've experienced in this world.
Right.
And people have given things to me just because I needed them, and they had it.
Wow, brother.
Man, I can't quantify that. That makes. That just made me want to do everything I could to help somebody else, because somebody did that to me, and hopefully they'll do it to someone else, and it keeps going on and on and on.
So let me ask you.
And that's because of one act of kindness, bro.
So let me ask you this, based on what you just said. Who was it that came up with the notion that love is give and take? And is that true?
I think someone who came up with that notion is somebody that wanted to sell you something.
Ooh.
They wanted what you had.
Oh, Lord.
That's what I think, man, honestly, because it's the only way. She won't love you if you don't give you these flowers. And the same, $20 flowers are now $60 because I want something from you. It's all a game, bro. Wow. And man, we can't play this game. We have to be flexible and make our own game.
Hey, brother.
And if we don't do that, we never gonna get out of this monotonous thing.
Hey, Reggie is out here killing. Reggie, slap us upside the dome piece on our way home from Jones Beach. You brought Austin, Texas in the building, man. I appreciate the insight. Thank you, thank you, thank you, brother. Yee. Without recognition of the formless within yourself. I need you to hear that. Without recognition of the formless within yourself, there can be no true transcendental love. If you cannot recognize the formless in yourself, this goes back to Thomas Campbell talking about individuated units of consciousness, how the source of everything put a piece of it in us and we carry that with us. That's recognizing the formless. Without recognition of the formless within yourself, right, there can be no transcendental love. If you cannot recognize the formless in yourself, you cannot recognize yourself in the other. The recognition of the other as yourself in essence, not the form, is true love. That's Eckhart Tolle. I think it's a lie for people to say love is give and take, because now that's a barter system. That's trade, right? So where there is trade, listen, you may not agree. Where there is trade, there is evaluation. The evaluation of quality. Is this as qualitative as what I did for you? Is this as valuable as what I did for you? And the comparison breeds envy, breeds jealousy. Oh, here we go. 1-800-920-1580. Phone lines are just bananas right now. We got to get some folk in here. Let's talk. Bowman, Grand Prairie, Texas. Get in here.
How you feeling, Zoe?
What's happening, man?
Great topic. I want to say I believe that humans can express unconditional love extrapersonally in glimpses, and for the most part intrapersonally. However, because we are human and live life as a finite being, we do not maintain unconditional love on an interpersonal level. So, in other words, the people who we interact with, right, they can show outside of ourselves, they can show us glimpses of love that we're learning from them. Like from being a child, you see
Wait, Bowman, you know I gotta push back. You already know that I gotta push back. So when you say they can show us, are you saying they can reflect to us?
Yes.
Or
what a healthy love looks like in a godlike state, I should say. So a healthy person who wants to show you and be nice to you, and things like that. The extra personal.
So is love somebody being nice to you?
No, not necessarily. What I'm saying is
I'm just trying to follow you.
No. Because extra personally, people can show us glimpses of what unconditional love can look like. It's the extra personal, and I believe it's the intrapersonal. But the interpersonal relationships, when we get in, start to look inside other people's lives and the people interact.
But that's what the quote I just read just said. If you cannot recognize the formless in yourself, you cannot recognize yourself in the other. The recognition of the other as yourself, in essence, not form, is true love. And I believe that comes back to self-love. And if there's no self-acceptance, no self-approval, no self-esteem, no self-worth, if there's guilt, shame, and all of these things just festering, that's what's creating relationship entropy. And you can only see that. That's the only reflection that's coming back. You're not going to get a glimpse of unconditional love from somebody else because you don't have it in yourself.
It has to be learned. And it takes time, too.
No. It doesn't have to be learned. The previous caller, Reggie, hit us with it. It has to be developed. No, Sean hit us with it. It has to be developed from within. What are your thoughts on that?
That's true, but there has to be a certain type of consciousness that comes with that. and it does take time.
Well, it's all consciousness, sir. It's all consciousness.
Right.
Yes. But the consciousness has to come from within.
True.
So we saying the
For
same.
instance, I mean, it may be a frog, right? It might sound dumb or not, but I recognize that I can overpower this frog and how hateful I could be by destroying the frog. But if I don't destroy it and I recognize that this frog, I have to stop myself and say, wait a minute, I can't kill this thing because I'm greater than it. Even though I recognize that I could destroy the frog. I know it sounds retarded.
No, it doesn't. It's actually an example. It's an example. Wait, hold on, Bowman. When I speak louder, that means bring it down just a taste, because I'm trying to interject something, because you're onto something. So when I interrupt, don't just keep talking. Okay, you do that a lot. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. No, I'm just playing. No, but you hit onto something that's big. The example you said, the frog example was silly, but it's not silly. It's actually compassion. You're giving an example of, I'm bigger than the frog. I could kill the frog, but I have compassion for the frog, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's good. Continue, brother. Continue talking.
So what I'm saying is, even though I think we can have glimpses of it. Because we are finite. So because we are finite, we recognize that there's conditions in order for us to live or for us to die. So we're in specific environments that call for whatever it is we need to do in order to sustain life. But we still have we possess these things. I call it God conscious, but that's just me.
Same, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you.
You know. And so I don't know.
No,
I see it as more of an extra, and intra-personal thing.
Listen, Bowman. Listen, out of all the phone calls you have ever made to this show, I have never been in more agreement than I am right now with you, brother, because you cooking. Hey, man, we appreciate you. You brought Grand Prairie, Texas in the building. Listen, when I come forward, wetlands of Atlanta, New York City, New York City, so nice they had to name it twice. Phone lines on fire. The voice of reason is asking, is love dead? How real or rare is true love? When we come forward, believe me, we got a lot to talk about.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings will disappear.
I saw you, Mimi. This show deep. Of course you're going to be a little confused.
Stressed, anxious,
huh?
worried, or frustrated. It's normal.
Huh? You got some people who don't like deep. They think deep is unnecessary. But really, the roots of people not liking deep, I'm not saying this is you, Mimi. I'm just saying many people don't like deep. And the reason why people don't like deep is because they can't go deep. They superficial. They think it's unnecessary. Well, when you done went deep than a motherfucker, having deep discussions don't intimidate you.
We specialize in recording and live streaming.
Here go Tiffany. Deep feels amazing. Listen, this ain't that type of show, Tiffany. The fuck?
Hosting a podcast is a great way to bring awareness to your business, product, or good cause. For more info, visit MorrisMediaStudios.com or give us a
now
call.
I'm playing.
323-815-4204.
You know I love you, Mimi. You should call in and sing your little song. You should call in and sing your song.
The Los Angeles Black Workers Center is a dynamic alliance of workers, organized labor, community-based organizations.
Don Williams said I was going to call, but Boys in the Hood is on. Nigga, Boys in the Hood is 35 years old. That's how old that movie is.
To addressing the black jobs.
What?
Their programs promote access to quality jobs, racial equity in hiring and retention, discrimination-free job sites, and they prepare black workers for employment in high-wage, career-track jobs. The Black Workers Center supports workers who need help protecting their rights on the job. They give workers access to quality jobs.
Yo, we're at 55-50. for tonight's topic.
For free career readiness training. Get involved in organizing around anti-discrimination. Learn about union apprenticeship programs or
Hey, thank
sign
you.
on to a trade registry. Please visit www.lablackworkerscenter.org.
Don't you hate it? This middle stage of your face fur should be itchy.
This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Live and dirty.
This is KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, for real. We have 55, 50.
Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
When you walk, when you pass me by. Two is I like your face. Third one is irrelevant, because there's no time or place. Attack me with your love. And I'll do all the things you want me to. Oh! Ladies and gentlemen, KBLA Talk 1580, we on fire tonight. Cameo was on fire back in the days. Boy. Attack Me With Your Love, great record, Cameo. And as you know, my playlist is my co-host, and we have fun with it, man. Even though this is a really deep topic, we have fun with it, man. I love broaching these topics and really pushing buttons to see how far we can expand our perspective. And that's the whole point of these discussions. No one is coming from the positionality of being right. It's not about right. It's about alignment. It's about expansion of consciousness. Love is more than just a set of rules, a set of behaviors, a set of ideas. Love is more than that. So let's go deeper. Nazarene, Wetlands of Atlanta. What happened to our last one? Get him in here. Nazarene, come on.
Hey, bro. What up, huh?
Man, what's happening, brother? What do you think of tonight's topic?
Man, I'm thinking it got me thinking, huh? I don't know. I just want to ask this question.
What are you thinking about? What happened, brother?
All right, because it's unconditional love, right?
Right.
That's the name of the game.
Right.
And it's like, I had a question. Do you, not necessarily personally, but just posing this maybe to the listeners as well, but it was Satan that was like in God's front yard talking smack about Job, right? In the Bible or something. Like
he was, hold on.
Yeah, he was at the crib, like he came to the cookout.
He was invited. What is that? The Book of Job, chapter 2?
Yeah, and you know Job was like he was that dude, like special, right?
Right.
And then I feel like I need to research the Bible again, more, read it more, because I know in one breath, to my knowledge, I heard something about like in Africa or say in ancient days, the quote unquote devil, it really don't exist, or he or she or it, whatever, it don't really exist within the same context of the West.
Mm-hmm.
All that to basically say like, okay, so now we got God. God is love. And it's so like
you on it, brother. I swear you are so close right now. I swear if you hit this out, I'ma sit back. If you hit this out the park, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Go right there. I dare you. I dare you to go there. I'm gonna sit back.
We're gonna see what happens. But love, like, you know, God is love. Y'all like on some like unbothered type stuff. So you got the devil, which is like just the proverbial, the adversary of all humanity, basically. Which I'll come to find it as basically somebody that's going to accuse you in the courtroom type setting. So you got the heavenly host up there with the almighty judge and the devil talking smack. So I'm just wondering, like, does God have unconditional love for the devil?
Isn't that his creation?
You feel me? Like, now mind you, it's something to ponder on in terms of trying to fill out or deepen our understanding, overstand all those other words of understanding, comprehension of what love,
So
and its vastness.
what you're gonna make me do is do a religion show, and if I do that, it's really gonna be crazy. If I do that, then people gonna be mad.
I want it. I think we need that. But that whole point too is just also, I don't know if the word is to draw a delineation between unconditional and inconsequential type of love, because consequences.
So wait, because you're asking a lot. So let's just break this down into some pieces, real quick. All right, I deal with the biblical Job piece secondary later. Let's just do this. Satan is the unhealed trauma. Satan is the unhealed trauma. Do you because understand, Satan, adversary, adversary, adversity. The adversity is internal. Krishnamurti, the enemy is you, not the other. You are. Do you see? Wait, stay with me, Nazarene. When we come forward, we're going back to the wetlands of Fallopia. We on fire tonight. And all the things that drive me wild. What am I gonna do? Woo-hoo. What am I gonna do if I can't have you? Hi.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice.
Yo, that shit on fire. I can't believe y'all. It's too many goddamn otherworldly jewels happening. We have 55, 50.
Campus authorities say shots were fired on or near the East Lansing campus. Students are being told to secure in place and run
81 people.
if necessary. Storm systems could cause problems
$2
across the country.
Can we go on a $2 run?
Colorado are already dealing with various types
just on that. Satan is unhealed trauma. Just that bomb alone. $2. Everybody dropped $2 for that bomb.
In Arizona on Sunday.
That shit was different.
Super Bowl in 6 years. The network that aired the big game also noted that Super Bowl 57 ranks as the third most watched TV show ever. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Island from VOR, 24/7 News Source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. I sell custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters that are easy to install at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are custom-made for your windows, and I guarantee they'll fit. Don't hire a pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
Is the pen mightier than the sword? They say the pen is mightier than the sword. At KBLA Talk 1580, we not only have a lot to talk about, we have a lot to write about. Politics, relationships, relationships, business, empowerment, and culture. The all-star roster at KBLA Talk 1580 has you covered.
That's what it's all about.
Be sure to follow us on all our socials for our latest book releases, op-eds, essays, and commentaries from our hosts. And, of course, download the KBLA 1580 app as we strive to remain your most trusted, credible, and reliable source for the issues you care about. This is unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, for all the people that are doing double ups, man, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Y'all don't, I really don't want to see people give more than is asked, give more than is required. I want, the whole experiment is about all of us doing it. But I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it.
Connecting you with services and
But let me ask again.
Is the youth component of the impactful CBO.
Are y'all following what I'm saying? Is what I'm saying resonating? Thank you, Deanna. Is what I'm saying resonating? Does it make sense?
They train youth organizers, help underserved scholars prepare for college, and work with students to help them gain admission to top universities. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action fosters teen activism, where young people have led campaigns moving tens of millions of dollars to South LA schools and forcing officials to make AP classes available to students in under-resourced institutions. SCES scholars have taken part in the March on Washington, been published in major news outlets, and been elected to city council.
Tracking like a toll missile.
Karen Bass started the program when she founded the Community Coalition. To donate, volunteer, or enroll
I hope so. I really hope that you guys, because if you're listening to what I'm saying, I'm pulling from physics, from philosophy, from religion. Like, I'm pulling from a lot of spaces. And we are weaving an intricate story. Right? This is an intricate narrative.
Doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis.
For everybody that is responding, this show been wild deep. This kind of shit I be thinking about in the cigar lounge. I was thinking earlier today, like, I actually started working on this topic during Super Bowl. What's up, Commonwealth?
Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas,
and I was like, I'm gonna go there on this one. I'm gonna go there.
Prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800.
Yes, we're at 7448. My question is, if we get to 100, I mean, I will be happy if we get to 100. Man, you know how to pronounce my name? Yes.
Absolutely, Dr. King.
Commonwealth.
Do I have some questions for you, sir?
Do people get your name wrong?
Hi, it's Tavis. Assalamu alaikum, my brother. This is Minister Malcolm. Now, I heard that you and Martin are getting together for a public dialogue on February 28th. See, now I already know the date. I know y'all not trying to keep me out of that conversation.
Live in a minute. Well, what is it? That's what it's spelled like.
How long must the Negro continue to endure this foolishness at the hands of law enforcement? People can take but so much before they reach a breaking point. What do you mean, Black Lives Matter? Black lives haven't mattered in this country since...
Hey, you know what I've been watching? I started watching it yesterday. Harlem. With Forrest Whitaker. I did not know that shit was that good. Pronounced Kwame. That's how you... Boy, I will throw these goddamn headphones. That ain't...
X and Martin Luther King Jr. Tuesday, February 28th, 9 a.m. Pacific Time. Exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Phil Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
trust I need. Every word I say is true. 'Cause I love you. Baby, I'm thinking of you. Trying to be more of a man for you. I don't have much of it, but we gonna see you through. 'Cause I love you.
I know love is real. Because this man had to love somebody to sing like this. Boy, that boy was in love. Oh, Lord, tell him. Yes. Hey. Break it down. High note. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the vocal stylings of Lenny Williams. I believe that man was in love. I believe that man reached the highest level of consciousness in order to belt this out. Because I love you. I love you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're talking about tonight. How real or rare is true love? And here's the sad part. All jokes aside, you can sing your heart out and execute that song the way that man executed that song and still not love your woman. That's the goal part, right? You would think in order to find that inspiration to sing it like that he could have been singing about his pet pit bull that he really loved. His Rottweiler. I love that Doberman. You don't know where the inspiration comes from, but the reality of it is love gets obscured through the filter of unhealed trauma. Now, we said something very powerful. Brother Nazarene from the wetlands of Atlanta. That's what you named it, the wetlands of Atlanta. Brother Nazarene really laid that out when he talked about Job and the story of Job and having to go through the adversity of not having the covering of God. Now, I don't believe God plays games to prove a point to his creation.
Right.
Satan is God's creation. And God is sovereign, and Satan is a servant to God. That's what I believe. And I don't believe sovereignty has to prove anything to the servant. So the whole story of, and again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan came also to them, or among them, to present himself before the Lord. Now, and Satan came also, stop playing with the words. You know Satan is a son of God too. It's just stop. He's one of the, well, he was, and then he got kicked. That's his baby. That's the black sheep. That's the one who was tripping. But he's still a servant. Right? He's still a servant of God. According to Isaiah 45:7, nothing is outside of the purview of God, not good nor evil. So everything is sanctioned by God, according to 45:7 Isaiah. Now, you don't have to prove nothing to the devil. You don't. But I posit, in alignment with our topic tonight, that the Satan we've all been taught about is really our internal struggles. And if you go Back to the ancients. Everything is about conquering the self. What is Freemasonry? Nothing but ancient Egyptology, ancient Egyptian spirituality. The pyramid represents the man, right? Or self. And every man is trying to be a speculative mason, so to speak, building what? Himself. Do you see? And into what? The pyramid. The pyramid is a perfect structure. Nobody can reproduce it. So you represent the pyramid. Well, they've turned that demonic now. That was self-work back in the day. There are operative masons and speculative masons. What is masonry built on? It's built on you becoming the mason, the master mason of yourself. That's what it is. Now, if you don't do that, you still have the sukha, which is not sukha, the dukkha, right? The dissatisfaction producing seeds called unhealed trauma, unrecognized trauma, unresolved trauma, unacknowledged trauma. All of that stuff is producing what the Buddhists call dukkha, dissatisfaction. What we are using today as what? What are we using today? We called it shadow. What else are we calling it today? We called it Satan. The adversary. The internal adversary. Do you see what I'm saying? The internal adversary that prevents you from loving unconditionally. This is why your love is selfish. This is why your love is, this ain't gonna happen to me again. The next person I get gonna do these things. And is that love?
Yeah. How your man said, I robot. Like, now that is the right question. Terminated. But nah, bro. When you spoke to even the pyramids and such, I think it all comes back down to perspective as well. Because again, it comes back down to dimensions and who's doing what. Like you got a pyramid. If you're not looking at it from, I think it's just that fourth dimension aspect. You're just looking at a three-dimensional shape, still symbolic of the Trinity. But in essence, it's like really got four different sides to it. That's foundation. Let's account for what's below the surface. The shadow self. Account for those sides. That equals 8. There goes your power when you tap into all of that, and you still erect, as above, so below.
Wait.
Ways.
Let me jump into it real quick.
Love.
Could the shadow self be hell?
If you're gonna stay there.
But I'm just saying, if we're using these biblical archetypes, could the shadow work or the shadow space be hell, equivalent to?
Right. And then those feelings of resentment, how you say guilt, what you still holding on to, and not letting go of, not surrendering, like those are your guardians, those are those demons, so to speak, that are keeping you bound or tormenting you within that space. Those memories of being hurt that need to control what's beyond your control.
Look at
all those different things. You have your own internal demons on so many different levels, and to kind of wrap and slide, I want to send love up to our elder, Dr. Sabi. Blind piece of that brother. I saw rare footage of him, and I've always really appreciated his perspective, like just, how he expresses himself. But he said things like, I love the devil. It's not to be taken wrong.
Wait, huh?
He goes further.
Yes.
So within context, it's like, I love the devil. Because everybody's so scared of him this kind of stuff, they don't understand, like, without the devil, humanity really wouldn't have any reason to get closer to God.
So he's a spiritual, so he's a spiritual personal trainer.
Exactly. Y'all like like in that breath, and again, I don't want things to get misconstrued because I understand, and I'm looking forward to another show where we can go even further, just in this aspect of things, so to speak. But some things are like baby food in terms of considering things on the spiritual plane. But then there's like the more adult ready, take the training wheels off and we get into some things. But it's just like it. I look at it now as Satan or the devil, my internal darknesses and things like that. They're really God's wingman. Like we can invite those things. That's where it's just like we don't have to keep necessarily being afraid to address it, being afraid to stand before this entity or this energy, this memory, this pain. Even further, it's like Christ was on top of the mountain with the same devil.
Break out the phone.
All alone. He didn't say nada. He has the same words to say, "Get thee behind me, Satan," and stuff like that. It's just, you didn't necessarily have to do it, but it's just the aspect. I think there's so much power when we look at things like that to see what can become when we invite this so-called enemy or this, I guess, this thing that's out of place. Again, back to your other works as well.
But
sit with certain feelings.
I hear what you're saying, and just to make it more concise and condense it a bit, it just sounds like you're saying embrace the work. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I hear you. It's like accept the work.
Maybe that'll help unlock the keys to experiencing unconditional love. You be able to be more aware of what's inside of you and coming through others, or how to just rest within that aspect of things. I'm just hoping it all still, makes sense to the callers, to listening to myself and everything. It still makes sense. I don't mean to get off topic, but again, just an extension of what unconditional love really looks like beyond even, I guess, what we come to imagine thus far. Like, let's just continue to stretch our minds, brother. So I appreciate you immensely.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate your insight. You brought the wetlands of Atlanta into the building. Now Gardena is in the building. Kwame, when we come forward, brother Kwame, we gonna speak to you, man. I can't wait to get you on the line. We on fire tonight.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Kwamel.
California Reparations Task Force.
Kwamel. I'm sorry, brother. Kwamel. I'm going to get your name right.
CaliforniaBlackMedia.org. The California Task Force to study and develop reparation proposals for African Americans in California decided
I got it. Kwamel.
Campus of San Diego State that it would support legislation that extends the panel until July of next year.
Kwamel.
One abstention is what moved the date that was previously set for the summer of this year. The goal now is to have ample time to satisfactorily implement an action plan based on the findings of its final report, which is due in 5 months. This decision was made 4 months after Governor Gavin Newsom vetoed legislation asking for a 12-month extension. I'm Aisha Cairo, and that's your K-Black Minute News.
Yo, this show flew.
California is a great place to live and work, but those
Batman would just be a guy in a costume without the Joker.
The Californians for All College Corps, a way for students to build skills and help others while earning up to $10,000 for school. Commit to serve.
Nazarene. Yeah, man, you brought some fire.
To learn more and apply today at
www.cacollegecorps.com.
That's www.cacollegecorps.com.
Kwamel Allah.
California is a great place to live.
I don't like the way that's. Hey, I'm reading that. I don't like it. All will be settled once I'm on the air. No profanity. Watch your tone and your delivery. Come on now.
Apply today at www.cacollegecorps.com. That's www.cacollegecorps.com.
KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles seeks to achieve justice for people living in poverty across Greater Los Angeles. The foundation provides direct representation, offers counsel and advice, provides referrals, educates the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars, and supports individuals and families by protecting human and civil rights. To get legal help, to donate, or to volunteer, please visit lafla.org. That's lafla.org. At KBLA Talk 1580, we stand with young people. We don't back down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Love and happiness. Yeah. Something that can make you do wrong, make you do right. Yeah. Love. Something going on. Someone's on the phone.
3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. My playlist is my co-host. And listen, we love having difficult conversations, tough conversations, riveting conversations, compelling. Listen, you're not in a real conversation if everybody agrees. I need you to understand that. We have to have discord in order to have harmony. Right? You have to have different perspectives. And so many people, man, they just want to hear the way they say it. No, we're exploring this conversation. We're asking all of these questions. Agree or disagree, love is a divine attribute. It is an idea in the one mind. God is love, and love is God, or a quality in being. The difference between divine love and human love is that divine love is broad and unlimited, a universal and harmonizing power. Human love is based on personality and is selfish, lawless, and fickle. I got to get somebody in here. Kwamel from Gardena. Get in here, brother.
Yeah, man. You can see me on the chat and like forgetting how to pronounce joints. I'm like, come on, son. Yeah, all right. Hopefully you can hear me okay. So I wanted to go in a little bit. It's out there. Just like we love our babies. We can love all the people that come into our lives. As the 5% say, love is the highest form of understanding. So it's a matter of the patience. Do we have the patience to understand someone? Or are we too selfish to tolerate anyone that's not fulfilling whatever thing we feel we need or require them to make happen?
Mm.
Maybe I'm in the ballpark with that. I kind of want to stay away from the whole Christian angle of it, but if the caring is there, or if the desire to care is there, the love can be there, and that's at any age. I think so many of us have screwed it up in our teens and 20s that suddenly we decide there's no such thing in our 30s, 40s, 50s, and that's just dead wrong.
Right.
Straight up and down. It's dead wrong, because there's going to be somebody that, if you get past the the lust or the need for them to have, X amount of money, there's going to be that enjoyment of company, that enjoyment of their being in your presence and being able to build with them on everything in the universe and experience everything in the universe with them and gain high appreciation for that.
I'm with that.
So that's always going to come. That's always going to come if your mind and heart are open to it.
Yeah, I'm with that, brother.
There's dope people every single way, including your whole delegation. There's dope people that you'll drink their bathwater tonight.
Whoa.
You're not married.
Woo. Hey, Kwamel, we appreciate the call, man. Thank you for dropping jewels, man. Gardena in the building because of you. Let me get another piece of Thomas Campbell.
So let's imagine two sets of, an experiment where we have two sets. And we're going to see the difference between these two sets. One is, let's say we have, 100,000 individual units of consciousness.
People.
And that'll be set one. And in this set, there will be a certain amount of resources, a certain amount of capability, a certain amount of space, and then we'll have another set that's a duplicate of that. The same amount of ability, capability, space, resources, everything's exactly the same in the second set, except we're going to have two different attitudes in each one of these sets. Okay? In the first attitude, we are going to have a cooperative, caring attitude. Okay? In this set, if somebody invents something or comes up with a really good idea,
we share it.
They share it with everybody else.
Oh, come on. Listen, I want you guys to check out Thomas Campbell. I want you to check out his book, My Big Toe. It's a heavy read. Like I said, he's a physicist, so it's not lightweight. But I think you could extrapolate a lot of meaning out of it. And again, this conversation was exploratory. I want us to explore love instead of being locked into, generational expectations and ideas of what we think it is. Let's explore deeper and let's see what comes out of that exploration. I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. I want you guys to stay tuned for the replay of Areva Martin and good brother Les Brown as Danny Morrison is out for the week. When we come forward, trust me, we still got a lot to talk about. Hey! Love and happiness. Hey, yo, the shit was fire. I don't know about y'all, but the shit was fire tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope it was worth y'all while. Thank you guys for collectively hitting that super chat button to the tune of 76.47. I appreciate every nickel. Thank you. None but love, none but appreciation to you guys. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Deuces.